Douglas Barker, and tell you a little bit about him. He's an art history instructor, a professional light worker, and a passionate world traveler. 14 years residence in England, Germany, and Switzerland, and spiritual experiences in sacred sites around the globe changed his life forever. His spiritual journey has been long and eclectic. Among his most formative experiences were 3-year studies of the teachings of Rudolf Steiner in England, and a training in his alternative system of education called the Waldorf Schools. Initiation as a disciple of Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, now known as Osho, and earning his diploma in astrological counseling from the Astrological Psychology Institute near Zurich, after 5 years study in Germany and Switzerland. He was also initiated as a priest of Wicca, and he was also initiated in the use of the Native American prayer pipe with a medicine man in Arizona. He spent 4 years residing in Sedona, Arizona, and he has had ceremonies in Peru with ayahuasca, frog toxin, and San Pedro cactus. So he earned certificates in mediumship and hands-on healing at Harmony Grove Spiritualist Association as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Douglas, and thank you for being here today.
So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody hear me all right in the back?
Yes.
Good, good. Well, some time ago, I gave a talk here about dragons. So today, I'm going to talk about unicorns. Now, my unicorn sermon is based on the text, verse 22 from the 23rd chapter of Numbers. God brought them out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of an unicorn. Now, what exactly are unicorns? They're commonly described as very wild woodland creatures, and they're symbols of purity and grace. Supposedly, they could only be captured by a virgin, in other words, someone who was absolutely spiritually pure. And the horn was furthermore believed to have the power to render water safe to drink and could also heal sickness. Now, unicorns are mentioned a couple of times in the Old Testament. However, it was translated under the auspices of King James in the early 17th century, and the Hebrew word re'em actually means a wild mountain bull. Now, ancient Greek writers on natural history were convinced of the reality of unicorns. They believed that they lived in India. About 1300, Marco Polo happens to mention them in his book on travels. He claims they were heavily armored animals and that they plunged around in the mud and so on, and said, quote, "They are very ugly brutes to look at. They are not at all as we describe them." However, when you read the full description, it becomes obvious that what Polo had actually seen was a rhinoceros. Now, medieval writers claimed that when a unicorn encounters a virgin, it lays its head on her lap and falls asleep. And so this became a symbol of chaste love and faithful marriage. Now then it started to appear in the iconography or the symbolism of Christian art. The virgin, of course, was equated with the Virgin Mary, and the unicorn with Christ. And in fact, if you ever go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, you can see a beautiful set of 7 tapestries woven in France called The Hunt of the Unicorn. Now, technically, the horn of the unicorn is actually called an alicorn, which is interesting because in Italian, the word for a unicorn is alicorno. Now, The horn was believed to be magical. It had healing powers. And they began to sell them in Europe, of course, because there was always an audience for credulence. And they said this is the horn of a unicorn. Well, in actual fact, what they were, and you can see them in certain museums, they were the tusk of a narwhal, which is a toothed whale native to the Arctic. But even as late as 1741, you could buy powdered alicorn in Europe. Now it shows up in heraldry as well, the science of the coats of arms, where it is best known as a symbol of Scotland. And in the 21st century, it has actually become a gay icon, although nobody knows exactly why. Now, so much for the exoteric side. Now, getting into the more metaphysical side of unicorns. Unicorns exist on the 7th to the 12th planes, but act primarily as 7th dimensional spiritual beings. They exist in the 7th heaven on the same level as archangels. They are related to the Christ consciousness, and they work primarily with the soul, bringing joy and helping individuals to fulfill their spiritual destiny. Unicorns facilitate the fulfillment of our visions. They carry to source our desires, and they bring us the specific qualities that we need in order to actualize them. So they exist on what we would call the astral plane as powerful beings. Unicorns are also thought of as fully enlightened beings, and the horn is actually a spiral of pure radiant light. And it's so intense that it actually appears solid. And this is coming from a fully opened brow chakra, or third eye. In some ways, this horn functions like a magic wand. Through it, they channel healing forces. And this is forces for healing physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And they can help to clear deep karmic wounds. They're also easiest to contact when you're in a quiet outdoor setting, although we will be doing it indoors now. Now, if you would like further information on unicorns from a metaphysical perspective, you could look at the book The Wonder of Unicorns by Diane Cooper, who is an English spiritual teacher and channeler. So, now we're going to actually do a little bit of unicorn work. So, everybody sit up nice and straight in your chairs so that your spine is relatively vertical. And I want you to feel a sense of warmth at the top of your head. And now feel this warmth slowly spreading down over your face and shoulders, down your spine, over your arms and fingertips. Feel the warmth move down your thighs and your shins, and over and under your feet. Now, I want you to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in the violet flame. This is an intense flame swirling around you, violet, sometimes with tinges of blue, sometimes with tinges of red. This was a gift given to humanity in the early 1930s for the first time through Saint Germain. So imagine that this violet flame is all around you, surging, and as it is doing so, it's acting a little bit like a psychic vacuum cleaner. It's pulling out any negativity, any tension and stress, any bad vibes, anything like that. And this is an intense way of cleansing yourself, which you can do at any time. So take in another breath. Feel the flame become more intense. And finally, take one final breath of this violet flame in. And as you exhale, let it out with a deep sigh. Okay, now from the base of your tailbone, right at the bottom of your spine, feel that there is a strong, heavy cord that is sinking right down into the center of the earth. It's weighted at the end with a kind of hook, and it's going down and down and down, and it gets to the crystal right at the center of the earth, and you feel a kind of a click, and you know that the contact has been made. And now follow that line back up till you get to your second chakra, a couple of fingers below your navel, and feel yourself to be centered there. Now, in your mind, you're seeing a screen, and on the screen of your mind's eye, see the number 7 and the color red. Now, the number itself might be in red on a screen of white or black, or it might be the color of the screen itself, and the 7 might be some other color, however you want to see it. And now it changes, and you see the number 6 and the color orange. Now see the number 5 and the color yellow. Now see the number 4 and the color green. Now the number changes to a 3 and the color is sky blue. Now it changes again. You see the number 2 and the color of a clear midnight sky. And now it changes to number 1 and the color of an orchid. And you're now in the alpha state. But we're going to go a little bit deeper yet. So right in front of you, you notice that there is a stairwell with a railing around the top. And as you walk over, you look down and you see that it's a spiral staircase, spiraling down clockwise 10 steps. So imagine that you're beginning to walk down these 10 steps. Feel your foot touch down on the first step. Feel the cushion, the carpet that's underneath it. Now the next foot down, further one. You're now on step number 9. Now another step down, 8. Always feel the step under your foot. You can place your hand on the railing if you like. Now one more step, 7. We're going deeper and deeper. Next step is 6. And now 5 after that, deeper and deeper. Now we step onto step 4, step 3, step 2, and now the bottom step, where everything is going to be accurate and correct, and this is so. Now, I want you to imagine that it is evening, and you're sitting right next to a placid lake. There is a radiant supermoon in the sky that's casting a beautiful silvery light and creating a moon path across the water. Use all of your senses, if you can, to make the scene feel as real as possible. Smell the nice soft scent of the plants in the night air. Feel the cool air on your skin. Hear the very soft lapping of the little wavelets as they hit the shore. And as you enjoy the beauty of the scene, some of the silvery moonlight condenses into a sphere of bright silver white light that moves across the water toward you. And as it reaches the lakeshore, it pauses. And out of that sphere of light steps a beautiful white unicorn. And now the unicorn is walking over towards you. It's peaceful, harmless, and gentle. And you can feel the unconditional love radiating from its heart. Now the unicorn bows its head, And with its horn, it directs a flame-like flow of love right into your heart. And now, you talk to the unicorn, and what I'm saying, imagine that you're saying it. Beloved unicorn, I ask you to pour your light into me, healing me on every level. I pray for the healing of any karmic wounds I carry, whether consciously or unconsciously. I am open to receive. And now, feel that unicorn's seventh dimensional energy streaming through you, a shimmering white light. Your Merkaba, that six-pointed star that surrounds your aura, is lighting up all around you. And now stand up and stroke the unicorn's neck the same way that you'd pet a horse. Now, look into its eyes and make a soul-to-soul contact with it. Now, ask your unicorn what its name is. It might whisper it, or the name might simply float into your mind. And after it does so, simply repeat it mentally. Now, as you are watching, interacting with your unicorn, you suddenly feel something touch your shoulders, and as you turn slightly, you notice that your holy guardian angel is standing next to you, and what you feel is his wing resting on your shoulders. Now, when you turn around, you notice that there is a gleaming white stairway reaching way up, and rainbow-colored light is flowing down the stairs. So now your angel gives you a leg up. I hope you know what that means, so that you get up onto the horse, okay? So stick your left knee in his cupped hands and go 1, 2, 3, and you hop up on your right foot. The angel goes, whoosh, and you go right up onto the back of the unicorn. And then the angel gets up right behind you. And so his wings are around you. And now the unicorn slowly climbs the stairs with the rainbow-colored light swirling around your legs. And as you reach the top, you emerge into bright sunlight. In front of you is an archway covered with roses. It's very tall, and you're able to ride right through it. And you're now in a soft green glade. There are many wildflowers, and in the center of the glade is an old-fashioned wishing well. Now, your holy guardian angel helps you down. And now pick up a large white pebble. You'll see a number of them on the ground there. And think of a major wish or desire that you have in your life. And as you hold this large white pebble, begin to imagine this wish more and more strongly. And realize that it is a possibility for you because there are no limits. And now imagine, you might see your wish as a picture, place it inside the big white pebble. And now, ask your unicorn to bless and empower your wish with its magic. And so, the unicorn is happy to oblige and touches the pebble with the tip of his horn. And now the pebble is glowing and pulsating with this influx of magical power. And now take the pebble and drop it into the wishing well and hear the splash. And as it splashes, a droplet flies up and you catch it in your hand. And now offer that droplet to your unicorn with gratitude. And now you sit down for a moment on a bed of moss and visualize what your life is like now that that wish has been granted. Feel all the feelings of joy, happiness, and gratitude that this is now your reality. And now, soon enough, your angel gives you another leg up onto the unicorn, and the two of you return. You go back through the archway and down the stairs and come back to your starting point. And now, before you take leave, ask your unicorn if it has a message for you. And if it does, listen closely. I'll give you a moment. And now, thank your unicorn, thank your holy guardian angel, and the unicorn walks slowly away and back into the moonlight and disappears. And so now, we turn around again, and there in front of us are those 10 steps that we had come down before. So now begin to ascend the staircase again. 1, 2, feel the steps beneath your feet. 3, 4, 5, coming higher and higher. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we simply have the colors that we went up through before. You won't have to visualize the colors. We're just going to count. 1, 2, starting to become aware of your surroundings. 3, 4, 5, almost back. 6, 7. Now, feel the chair underneath you. Feel the current of air coming from the fan. Hear the sounds around you, knowing that you're back in the sanctuary. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, just allow your eyes to open. You can always come back to the lake and meet your unicorn whenever you choose. And with that, I would like to say I thank you all for your very kind attention.